Hey guys, what's up? It's Trent with Bully Barn. All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys today about breeding back to back and why I breed back to back. All right, so I've done some research on it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, seen some specialists and stuff that have talked about it in different articles, and I think it's neat. And that's one of the main reasons why I do breed back to back, because if you start breeding before 2, first off, we'll go back to what most people believe in. People believe in waiting until the female is 2 to 4 years old and at least had 3 heats, and then they skip at least 1 heat between each breeding, and I'll tell you how that can hurt you guys. Okay, so start breeding before 2. It's going to reduce dystocia. Okay, all that is a medical term of difficulty in giving birth, which could mean puppies getting lodged, stuck, her contractions stop, she's exhausted. Just a medical term for difficulty in birthing pups. It's going to reduce, start breeding before 2, it will reduce that by 60%. It's like humans. My wife's 25, she's had 4 boys, all natural, with no medicine, no C-sections, no issues, no problems, nothing, okay? And that's great. You know, I'm humbled and blessed and lucky and fortunate that we didn't have any complications in all 4 of those births, okay? But anyway, start breeding before 2. It's going to reduce that by 60%. Breeding back-to-back reduces the chances and risk of getting pyo, mammary cancer, and endometriosis, okay? It's going to reduce all of those. And your female will be able to retire early, ideally around 4 years old, because 5.5 to 6 years old, your female's already had so much damage to the uterine wall that she is less fertile, which 33.3% on average less fertile after the ages of 5.5 to 6 years old. So that's the reasons why I breed back to back. And all progesterone does, when your female goes into heat, her progesterone levels spike. And progesterone is like a hormone. It spikes and it stays elevated for 2 months whether she gets bred or not. Okay? The effects of progesterone, all it is inflammatory to the uterine wall, like the lining of the uterus. So it causes damage to the lining of the uterus, no matter if she gets pregnant or not. Okay? So that is why it's important to breed back to back. Because if you don't breed back to back, you're going to have a lot higher chances and higher risk of getting pyometria, cancers, and endometriosis. Okay? You're going to have different issues and stuff that can come along if you don't breed back to back. And we will talk about the story I had. I have a story to tell you guys. Okay, so I know this guy posted in one of the articles, and he'd been breeding dogs for quite some time, thought he was doing everything right, waited until she was 3 years old to breed. All right, so then he breeds her, skips a heat, breeds her, skips a heat, breeds her, skips a heat, and I think he did like 4 breedings with her, and she was about 8 years old and got cancer of the teats. And one of the big causes of cancer of the teats is skipped heats. And skipped heats causes false pregnancies. False pregnancies put you at higher risk for mammary cancer, which is cancer of the teats. Okay? So, and all a false heat, a false pregnancy, not a false heat. All a false pregnancy is you skip the heat and the bitch basically, like, her body tricks her into thinking like, oh, she's pregnant. So she has a false pregnancy. She'll even gain weight and lactate and everything else, which back in the day of wolves and coyotes and everything else, it was an evolutionary advantage for them, because one female would have a false pregnancy and she would lactate, and these other females had all these pups, and they could feed off that and nurse off of that one mama. Okay? So, but again, false pregnancies put you at a higher risk for mammary cancer. Okay? Now, after talking about all of this, okay, I'm going to talk about Rory a little bit. Okay? I've done 3 breedings with Rory so far, all back to back. I don't even think she's almost 3, or she just turned 3, I believe. And healthy as an ox, no issues with any of the births, no issues with any of the puppies, anything like that. Okay? So it's been a really neat experience, and I encourage you guys to do a little bit of research on it. Go find some of these articles and read about them. This is why we breed back to back, guys. Okay? You're going to have less complications with birth. You're going to have less stillborn puppies. You're going to have less risk of getting pyometria, mammary cancer, and endometriosis. And then you're going to be able to retire her a lot early. And then you're not going to have to deal with the fertility issues of breeding an older female. And all in all, It's a win-win, okay, guys? So that's why we breed back-to-back. We've had great success with it, and you guys can too, okay? If you have any thoughts on this video, comment below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can at bully.barn. You're more than welcome to text me as well at 405-568-6846. We'll have some more topics and different content coming for you guys soon. Take it easy.